Life isn't meant to be perfect. And I know you've heard that before. I've heard it before, even way before I was doing the embodiment work, which is really learning how to inhabit my body fully through the things that I experience so that I can make the choice to move forward in my inner authority. And I think the more that I inhabit my body, I am shown that that's not about perfection, that things can go wrong, or something unexpected happens, but really it's just another moment to practice and staying in your inner authority. Like you can have, say for example, like I was doing laundry one day last week I think, and all the dryers were not working, so I had to keep moving it. And I just started laughing because I know in the past I would have been like, WTF, and like moving it to the next dryer, and then I probably would have gotten angry again, and that would have just built. But because I have inhabited my body and stayed with the sensations every time I did feel triggers and anything uncomfortable, what that did was it released those sensations that were attached to the story that I could not land in my body if things went wrong, or if there was uncertainty, or if I made a mistake. And really, like I always tell my son, mistakes are how you learn. It's part of the process, right? And if you continue to make a mistake, it's like, okay, you're experiencing the same thing in your body. It's asking you to really look at that, but it's not saying that you're a bad person or that you're less than. And so that's something that I really had to unlearn. And so realizing that, and also realizing that I'm not a perfect human. I think on some level, when I first started doing this work, I thought, okay, once I do this work and I get like really masterful at this, that everything in my life is going to be perfect. I'm going to be high vibe all the time. I'm going to be doing all the things that I said I would do, and I would do them perfectly. And that's just not the case. And realizing that I'm also human. And I was given another opportunity to learn this on a deeper level, or just to be aware of like all the work that I've done as well. But I was playing with my son one day, and I kind of got winded because we were roughhousing. But I was like having so much fun with him. But I was like, okay, mommy needs a moment. And then in that moment, I decided to check my phone, which I'm just like, that's something that I'm still learning. And I see a message, and I'm like, oh man, this is something like unexpected. And I knew that I couldn't change it. I knew that I just had to go in, and that would be that. But something in me at that moment was like, I need to figure out how this unfolded. And so I find myself looking through the threads of old text messages and looking at the information, which I was only doing it for maybe about like a minute. And then my son was like, hey, you ready to play again? I was like, a minute? I need to check this thing out on mommy's phone, so just give me a minute. And even in that moment, I was so aware. I was like, oh man, I was feeling all open and expansive, and now I feel my energy kind of being contained. And it's like on this mission, like I need to find certainty. Like, why did this happen? Even though I can't change it, it's like I need to know so I can point the blame somewhere. Even though I wasn't thinking that, I was feeling that energy, reflecting back. I'm like, oh, that's what it was. And then the second time, my son's like, are you ready now? And then because I was so focused on trying to figure it out, I felt really just like he crossed the boundary, like he interrupted my survival energy of finding that certainty. And that's when I was like, okay, I just need to put the phone away. And in moments like those, it reminds me, first of all, again, I'm a human, not going to do it perfectly, and it is okay. Secondly, the more I inhabit my body, the more I'm able to then make those choices and not be in that loop. Because I know in the past, because that's how I operated in the past, I would have been in that loop where I would have constantly stayed in that vigilance and would have been so pissed off that he was interrupting me. And even if I would have played with him, I would have kind of like half-assed it, thinking about like, oh my gosh, I need to figure it out, and he's like not letting me do it, and feeling that resentment, because that's what I really felt towards him. And the funny thing is, now I can look at it and I'm like, well, nothing changed. My son, my 5-year-old son, is still this beautiful, wild, rambunctious, creative soul that I know him to be, and I want him to stay that way. The only thing that changed was me and my perception of how I was referencing myself in that moment. And that reference was like, something went wrong, I have to find that certainty of why it went wrong. And this is where I started to realize also, if being right is going to strip away my capacity to connect, especially if it's like something that I can't fix anyways, like what's the point? And I was somebody who couldn't see the point, and then came to a place where I was able to see the point and try to take those actions, but I really couldn't in a way that lasted because it still felt overwhelming in my body to do something different when my mind is telling me one thing. And so that's when inhabiting the body, staying in the discomfort, it's like you're being the parent to your inner self, your inner child, in those uncomfortable situations by just being present, not trying to fix it, not encouraging to do something right away, but giving yourself that time. Because that's when you're in a heightened experience, what you need is a calm presence to just feel and have some sort of reassurance outside of yourself, like it's okay, versus like, okay, go do this, go do that. And so this is something that is landing more deeply within me. And so the reason why I'm sharing this is really encouraging to notice these experiences in your body, how it does take you from that moment, and to learn to just be curious and lean into that, how often this has happened. And if you can stay with the sensation long enough, what does it reveal for you? What does it open up for you?